So before going to start a new topic in today's lecture, we should discuss on one example 5.5 from your NCERT 11th. So in that particular example, what we have to calculate is we have two identical balls of mass of two identical balls. This is M, and one ball is just striking on this rigid surface with normal to that surface, and the second ball, it is just inclined with an angle of 30. From this angle is 30 degree, I think so. It's a 30 degree, and after striking with this ball, just it reflect with the same angle. So this is 30. So this is the case, and what we have to calculate is find is the so what we have to find is the direction of force in both cases, and second, the ratio of impulse. So obviously that impulse is change in the momentum, and also force is correlated with momentum by using second law of motion. So in this problem we have to calculate the momentum, which is actually the vector quantity. So we have to use the that components cases as we have used in motion on a plane. So in the first case, that initial velocity is along x-axis, there is no y component. So that momentum, in first case, that momentum along x-axis, that is px, it is equal to, before collision, so this will be px initial. Before collision means initial, that will be equal to, the mass is m, velocity is u, so this momentum, initial momentum is equal to mu. After collision, when it bounce back, then velocity is same, there is no energy loss. As per that example, there is no energy loss on the surface, so the velocity is same, initial final velocity also u, but the direction is changed. So the final velocity, that will be also along x-axis, so that is equal to m, and because of this the change in direction, we will have this as minus mu. So the impulse or force, impulse is equal to change in momentum. So this change in momentum, so the final momentum is minus mu, with the final momentum, and initial momentum is mu, so this will be with also minus sign, so this is equal to minus 2 mu, and that will be along x-axis only. There is no y component in this case. So the impulse is minus 2 mu, as well as the force is normal to this surface, because the direction of force, this is always equal to the direction of impulse is always equal to the direction of force. So in this case, the direction of force is also normal. What's about the second case? In the second case, this is that angle, and that initial velocity is u, and the final velocity is again u. So we have to take the component along x-axis and y-axis, because there is one angle term is here. So this u, and then we can just draw this structure like this. So if this is the direction of u, this angle is 30, obviously this angle will be this angle will be 30. So its component along the x-axis and y-axis is equal to ux, it is equivalent to u, this angle is 30, u cos 30, and the normal is in this direction, and this is u sin 30, so this is u1. So these two cases are the initial case, because this is the initial velocity. So initial velocity along x-axis, so initial velocity or initial momentum we will calculate. So initial momentum along x axis this is equal to that px initial, this is m multiplied by u cos 30 along x-axis, and along y-axis that is p y initial, that is equal to, in this direction, this is negative y direction, so this will be minus m u sin 30. This is the initial one. Okay, now final, after collision, after striking this the ball on this rigid wall, this is that velocity. So now we will calculate its component along this x-axis and y-axis. So along this is u cos theta along the angle, and in the perpendicular direction again with the same direction, and that is u sin theta. So just let's overview on this diagram again. So this is that initial velocity u, this angle is 30. So for sake of simplicity, we just continue this line inside this plane. So this is the direction of u, this angle is 30. So we are taking two components. This is the x component ux, and this is the y component. This is the for this initial velocity. So this u component is u cos theta. So initial momentum will be m multiplied by this initial velocity, and along y-axis that initial momentum will be p y in is equivalent to minus mu sin theta, and minus sign is because of we are taking this in negative y direction, and the final velocity after striking this velocity is same but the direction 30. So we are taking that x component, this is u cos 30 and this is u sin 30. So our final momentum along x, this is p x final, that is equal to m multiplied by u cos 30. Now let us see, if we are taking this as a positive, obviously we will take this as a negative direction. So this is this minus mu cos 30, and along y this is py final. So that is again this is in a negative y direction. So this is minus mu sin 30. Okay, so we have x components of this momentum, initial and final momentum, and y component of initial and final momentum, and now we can calculate the change in momentum. So change in momentum means that impulse. Change in momentum is impulse along x-axis. What will be that final momentum is minus mu cos theta cos 30, and initial momentum is with that this is mu cos 30. So this is minus mu cos 30 minus mu cos 30. So this is equivalent to minus 2 mu cos 30 along x-axis, and along y-axis this is equal to, the final is minus mu sin 30. So this is minus mu sin 30 minus, again this is with minus sign, so this becomes plus. So this is minus mu sin 30 minus plus, simple mathematics, algebraic term. So this is equal to 0. Clear? So along y-axis there is no change in impulse, and there is no change in momentum. Change in momentum is 0. So there will be no impulse, there will be no force. But along x-axis that change in momentum is minus 2 mu cos 30. So obviously this is the impulse. So there will be one force along that direction. So that is minus 3 mu. One can put this value cos 30 here and calculate the total force or total impulse. And the second part is we have to calculate the ratio of the impulse. So initial this is the ratio. This is that impulse in this first case, and this is the impulse in the second case, and we can compare by using simple mathematics. This is equivalent to 1 upon, this is 2 mu, this is 2 mu cos 30. So that is equivalent to just cos 30. If we are taking this as a numerator, so that will be cos 30, or when we take this as a denominator, so 1 upon cos 30. Okay, so this is the case. So you have to take care of the direction of force as well as direction of impulse. जनरली लोगों थिंकिंग ये होता है कि फोर्स ये आकर के बॉल इससे टकरा रहा है, मतलब इस फोर्स जो है वो उसी डायरेक्शन पे होगा, फोर्स उसी डायरेक्शन पे होगा, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है. हालांकि टकरा ऐसा जरूर रहा है ना, 30 डिग्री एंगल पे इस पर टकरा रहा है, लेकिन फोर्स इस पर इस डायरेक्शन पे नहीं लग रहा है. फोर्स जो है हमेशा इसमें नॉर्मल डायरेक्शन पे लग रहा है, इसमें भी फोर्स नॉर्मल डायरेक्शन पे लग रहा है. बाय इट इज ऑब्वियस फ्रॉम दिस कैलकुलेशन, क्योंकि वाई कंपोनेंट जो है वो एक दूसरे को कंपनसेट करते रहा है, नल कर दे रहा है, रिजल्ट जीरो हो रहा है. सो सिर्फ दोनों केसेस में फोर्स का जो डायरेक्शन होगा दैट विल बी नॉर्मल एंड डिफरेंट इम्पल्स वी कैन कैलकुलेट. ओके, सो टुडे वी विल टॉक अबाउट दैट सिस्टम इन इक्विलिब्रियम or equilibrium conditions and some free body diagram. So that equilibrium, system in equilibrium, one can write system in equilibrium. So the system in equilibrium is defined in a single line. If any system is in equilibrium, means there is no force exerted. The net force is our net force, total force on the system is zero. So net force on the system is zero. Net force on the system is zero means by using that first law of motion, if there is no force, there is net force is zero, no force is applied, means that body or system or body, it is at rest. Body rest में होगा, means that velocity v is equivalent to zero. This is one case. Second, or that system or body that is moving with constant velocity. Constant velocity means v is constant. So if any system or any body is taking its equilibrium, then either that body will be at rest or that body will move with constant velocity. There is no force means there is no acceleration. And we have three parameters in this kinematics. That body will be either at rest or in motion. If that body is in motion, means that will move with constant velocity or move with acceleration. So if there is no force, means there is no acceleration. No acceleration means we have to either v is zero or v is constant. So force is a vector quantity. It has magnitude as well as a direction. So this two terms, this velocity is zero or this velocity is constant. This is controlled by both magnitude as well as the direction. Many times हम ये कहते हैं कि motion is controlled by force. Many times that motion may be in the direction of the force, may be opposite to that force, may be different from the direction of force. We have different examples. So let us think about some such examples where the direction of motion as well as the direction of force is same, because the system is in equilibrium. It is controlled by the direction of motion as well as direction of force. So first let us have some examples. First the direction of motion and the force are same. जिस डायरेक्शन पे फोर्स लगा रहे हैं उसी डायरेक्शन पे मोशन हो रहा है. So if this is that body, it is moving with a constant acceleration a, because we are applying force F. Whenever we apply a force, means maybe that with a constant velocity also, but that the force will take zero. So here this is that there is one acceleration. The force is applied in the direction of direction is also same. So this is the case where that direction of motion as well as the direction of force are same. Second, the direction of motion, is opposite to the direction of force. That's it. We are applying a force is being applied in the direction opposite to the motion. Example is when we throw the ball against the gravity. जब हम बॉल इस डायरेक्शन पे, बॉल का मोमेंट इस डायरेक्शन पे है, जब हम बॉल को ऊपर फेंक रहे हैं, जब हम बॉल को ऊपर की तरफ जब फेंकते हैं तो बॉल का जो मोशन है वो ऊपर की तरफ है. सो द डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन इज टुवर्ड दिस, बट द फोर्स इज toward the center of earth, that is equivalent to mg, mass multiplied by acceleration due to gravity. This is the direction of force, but the direction of motion is opposite to the direction of acceleration. So this is the example where the direction of motion is opposite to the direction of force. Okay. Now third, the direction of motion are different. Not exactly anti-parallel or exactly opposite, but it's different. So in circular motion, when we talk about, if this is that our earth, this is our earth, and in the orbit, moon is moving. This is moon. So moon is moving around our earth with a constant circular orbit. Then the direction of force is that this toward the center of earth, the gravitational force, it is balanced by centripetal force, and the direction of motion is tangential to the path. So here, this is the direction of motion, and this is that direction of force. So the direction of force is toward the center of earth, and the direction of motion is tangential. Fourth, object is in motion with net force 0. There is no force applied, but that object is in motion. So there is no direction of force, or the magnitude of force is 0. So we may have some cases where there is no force, net force is 0, but that object is in motion. For example, that raindrops. So initially that raindrop moves toward the earth with a constant with acceleration because of its mass mg. This mass is this mass of drop, and the total force exerted by earth due to gravity, that is equivalent to mc. When this water drop enters in our atmosphere, then one force of buoyancy, this is known as force of buoyancy. You have to check that. So when the force of buoyancy, it works against this gravity. So the force of buoyancy is equal to this mg, and this m is calculated by using the density of air. So we will detail in any further chapters regarding this force of buoyancy. But this mg, this is the force due to our earth, and this is the force due to buoyancy. So this is balanced. So this mg is equivalent to this mg, both are identical. So the total force, net force is 0. Yeah, the net force is 0. But still that water drop moves with a constant velocity. This moves with a constant velocity. And this is known as terminal velocity. So with that constant terminal velocity, that water drop moves toward the surface of our earth, but there is no force. There is no force, but there is motion. This is the case. This is also known as upthrust force. One term is used as upthrust force. This is also known as upthrust. So this upthrust force is accepted either by that atmosphere, or in case of one ball inside that water or any liquid, that upthrust force is applied due to that by that water. Let's say if we have this one beaker, there is water, one ball is dropping inside this, so one force that will be applied toward the earth center, that is mg, and that upthrust force applied by the water, that is again equal to mg. Then this ball will move inside that liquid with a constant velocity. So this is the case. Okay, so these are different concepts of force and motion and different cases. So now let us talk again about that equilibrium. So equilibrium means there is no force. The net force is zero. Means that object will be either at rest or in moment with constant velocity. So what we will have if we have two forces. So in case of two forces, if we have one object, one force is applying along this F1, and if there is another force collinearly applying, that is F2 on the same body, these are the linear force. If this F1 is equivalent to minus F2, means the magnitude is identical and the direction is opposite. So this magnitude is F1 and F2. Magnitude point of view, F1 is equivalent to F2. So in magnitude point of view, F1 is F2 equal to F2 and the direction is opposite. एक बॉडी है, एक बॉडी पे इस डायरेक्शन पे फोर्स लगा रहे हो, दूसरे डायरेक्शन पे भी फोर्स लगा रहे हो, और दोनों डायरेक्शन पे आइडेंटिकल फोर्स लगा रहे हो. इसको इस डायरेक्शन पे लगा रहे हो. इधर अगर कोई फोर्स ज़्यादा हो तो इधर मूवमेंट हो जाएगा, इधर अगर फोर्स ज़्यादा हो तो इधर मूवमेंट हो जाएगा. लेकिन अगर दोनों अगर आइडेंटिकल हो तो ऑब्जेक्ट जो है वो रेस्ट में रहेगा, एंड दैट ऑब्जेक्ट इज एट रेस्ट. सो द वेक्टर सम, हियर वन टर्म इज यूज्ड, द वेक्टर सम ऑफ दीज टू फोर्स, वेक्टर सम ऑफ दीज टू फोर्स is 0. So this F1 plus F2 is the F1 plus F2, that is equivalent to 0 in form of this, in form of vector. F1 plus F2 is 0, and one can write this. So this is equal to F1, it is equivalent to minus F2. Now more than two forces. Now more than two forces, three forces. More than two forces. More than two forces are some different cases where the direction is not identical. So if more than two forces, so the condition is same. The vector sum of all the forces must to be 0. Then that body is known as equilibrium. So if we have one body and numbers of force are applied in the same time, but the vector sum, the total vector sum is 0, means that body will be at equilibrium. So if we have one body here, one force is applied along this direction, another force is applied along this direction. Angle is, if this angle is theta, so if we have two forces applied in a different direction, then the resultant of this force, we have the resultant F, it is equal to, resultant of this force F is equivalent to what? That is root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 cos theta. We have this vector sum, that vector resultant. So F is equivalent to root of F1 square plus F2 square plus this, and that will be toward this. if a third force is applied along this is F, then that system will be at rest. So first of all, what we have to calculate? The resultant of these two forces, and equal to this resultant force when we apply it in the opposite direction, then this system will be at equilibrium. Okay, so if you have that example of bow and arrow, this type of two identical forces are applied there. Do you know about that? If this is the system, this is the string, and this is एक वाला डायग्राम उसको खींचते हैं इस तरह से। तो यहाँ पर इनिशियली हमने उसको इस तरह से टेंस करके रखा। फोर्स का जो डायरेक्शन है, लेट से फोर्स विल बी आइडेंटिकल, दिस फोर्स विल बी आइडेंटिकल। हमने उसको बैलेंस करने के लिए यहाँ तक, जब तक वो रेस्ट में है, जब तक रेस्ट में है, मीन्स हमने इन दोनों के रिजल्टेंट के बराबर फोर्स इस डायरेक्शन पे अप्लाई करके रखा हुआ है। जस्ट हमने उसको टेंस करके रखा हुआ है, जब तक हमने उसको छोड़े नहीं है, हमारे हाथ में है, तब तक हमने कितना फोर्स अप्लाई करके रखा है? F1 और F2 का जो रिजल्टेंट है, जो इस स्ट्रिंग पे टेंशन उस पर होगा, दैट इज T1 बोथ विल बी आइडेंटिकल। इतना फोर्स हमने इस डायरेक्शन पे करके रखा हुआ है। इफ दिस एंगल इज गिवन, अगर ये एंगल पता है तो वी कैन कैलकुलेट दिस। जैसे हमने उसको रिलीज किया मीन्स नाउ दैट सिस्टम इज नॉट इन इक्विलिब्रियम। तो इन दोनों का जो रिजल्टेंट फोर्स से ये इस डायरेक्शन पे मोमेंट है। Okay, so such type of cases we may have in different cases, and in different numerical problems we can calculate that resultant force on any system. और हम चाहते हैं कि that is in equilibrium, means we have to calculate the net force is zero. So equilibrium तक जब तक वो रेस्ट में है। जैसे हमने उसको रिलीज किया मतलब उस पर रिजल्टेंट फोर्स अप्लाई हो जाएगा और उससे वो एरो जो है वो आगे बढ़ता है। So one can calculate this. Okay, so now some free body diagrams. So free body diagram. Okay, so let us see what is this free body diagram. This is actually a tool. This is a tool, theoretical tool, conceptual tool. This is one conceptual tool to solve the force or motion related problem. Using Newton's law of motion. So we have three laws of motion, first, second and third, and we can use these three laws of motion to solve any problems related to mechanics. So we use this tool, that free body diagram, to solve that problem. So this is a conceptual tool, and this is a diagram. So this is actually the diagram. So to draw this diagram, we use some certain rules. So rules. First, the object is taken as a pint. We may have different objects, but we take that object as a pint. This is taken as a pint. Second, the force on the object is observed keenly. इस बॉडी पे कितना फोर्स लग रहा है उसको एनालिसिस किया जाता है बहुत, कि किस डायरेक्शन पे कैसा फोर्स। मीन्स वी हैव टू थिंक अबाउट द मैग्नीट्यूड एज वेल एज डायरेक्शन। तो फोर्स को बहुत क्लीनली ऑब्जर्व किया जाता है कि उसमें कौन सा फोर्स किस डायरेक्शन पे लग रहा है। एंड थर्ड, वेक्टर डायग्राम ऑफ फोर्स और उस फोर्स का एक वेक्टर डायग्राम ड्रॉ किया जाता है। दिस इज नोन एज that free body diagram. Okay, so free body diagram is simple diagram. Depending on the nature of that force, object is taken as a pointer and we draw that vector diagram of that force. चलिए कुछ examples लेकर के देखते हैं. This is the table in one block or one book is here of mass m. टेबल है, टेबल पे बुक रखा हुआ है. Page number 1. इसका free body diagram we have to draw. So let us think about the force. Force is that gravitational force mg toward the center of Earth, and action reaction that Newton's third law of motion. One reaction force because of the exerted by this table to this book is that n, the normal force. So two forces are applying, one toward the center mg and another one is the normal force because of this table. And now let us have its free body diagram. So the free body diagram this subject book is taken as a point. This is that point. मैंने कहा था कि ऑब्जेक्ट को हमें पॉइंट की तरह लेना है. And the vector, the forces are taken in its vector form. So this is one force applied this is mg. Second is n, normal force, or r. This is that free body diagram. So this is the real one. टेबल के ऊपर एक बुक रखा हुआ है. जब इसी चीज़ को फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम में दिखाएंगे कैलकुलेशन के लिए, देन वी जस्ट टेक वन पॉइंट, दिस इज द बुक, और दो फोर्स इसमें लग रहा है. वन फोर्स टुवर्ड द सेंटर एंड सेकंड फोर्स दैट रिएक्शन फोर्स बिकॉज ऑफ दैट टेबल. सो दिस इज द रिएक्शन फोर्स एंड दिस इज दैट सेकंड. This is that table and one pulley is here. This is that pulley. This is that string and one object is somewhere. This is the mass m. So let's have this is another object. This is M1. So this is at rest. So this M1, this is taken as a point. This is one point. One force is applied along this M1Z, and this is that tension. Tension toward this pulley. This is tension toward this pulley, and this is taken as T, and this is mg. Okay, so in different numerical problems, when we talk about that frictions and other things, we will detail further, but simple diagram we can draw for this system M. So here that again this force is M2Z and the reaction force is N, and further we will talk about that friction in between these planes. So we will have some more forces applied, but simple diagram of this the free body diagram for this is mg and toward that is. Next is a pendulum. Third is this is that pendulum is here. Initially this is that pendulum, and this pendulum is somewhere here from the main point with this angle theta. एक pendulum को theta angle पर ये करके उसको release कर दे रहे हैं. So what will happen here? Now let us talk about the different forces. So here this force is mg. And initially we are just pulling this toward this. So that force we are pulling equilibrium. This is that let's say this is that force F. So इक्विलिब्रियम पे पेंडुलम है, हमने उसको खींच करके यहाँ तक लाया है। यहाँ तक लाया तो इक्विलिब्रियम कंडीशन पे क्या होगा, इस डायरेक्शन पे ऐसे फोर्स लग रहा है और इस पे हमने इतना फोर्स लगाकर यहाँ पे लाया, इसको हमने रिलीज कर दिया कि इस डायरेक्शन पे मोशन पे आता है। इसको फिर डिफरेंट डायग्राम से हमने इसके टेंशन के बारे में बात नहीं की, इस स्ट्रिंग पर कितना टेंशन होगा वी कैन कैलकुलेट। हम डिफरेंट कंपोनेंट्स यहीं पर लेकर के इसको और डिटेल कर सकते हैं चाहे तो। सो इफ दिस एंगल इज थीटा, दिस इज mg, सो this angle is theta, this angle is theta, this angle is theta. We can take the component. So this is equal to, in this direction the component will be mg cos theta. We know about the vector, and in this direction, in this direction that will be mg sin theta, 90 degree. When we release this, then because of this mg sin theta, this bob, this is known as bob, this starts moving. ये because of this, ये तो इस टेंशन से बैलेंस हो गया. This is balanced by that tension on that string. String पे जितना टेंशन होगा that T is equal to mg cos theta. इतने बराबर उस स्ट्रिंग पे टेंशन होगा. बट ये जो मोमेंट होना है, मोशन जो होना है, this is because of this mg sin theta. ये mg sin जैसे इस सेंटर पे आता है, यहाँ पे जैसे आएगा, तो इस पार्टिकुलर सेंटर पे ये तो ये इस डायरेक्शन पे ये mg हो गया, इस डायरेक्शन पे ये mg के बराबर टेंशन तो है ये, लेकिन ये चूंकि मोमेंट में है तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इनर्शिया ये आगे ये बढ़ जाता है, और ये सेम एंगल पर एयर फ्रिक्शन इज 0, सेम एंगल पर ये यहाँ तक पहुँचता है। यहाँ तक आने के बाद एंगल अब इस डायरेक्शन पे हो गया, तो ये जो फोर्स इस डायरेक्शन पे लग रहा था वो इस डायरेक्शन पे लगने लगता है, mg cos theta. Again, this is mc in this direction, this angle is theta. Okay, so ये डायग्राम तुम्हें खींचने आना चाहिए, किस डायरेक्शन पे कितना जाता है और यहाँ पे सेंटर पे कितना होगा। हाँ, एक प्रकार से एक सर्कुलर पाथ फॉलो करता है ना। तो टेंशन की वैल्यू इतना है, यहाँ पर भी टेंशन की वैल्यू इतना ही होगा इसके बेसिस, और इस डायरेक्शन पे जो फोर्स लग रहा है जैसे mg sin थीटा। तो ये वेक्टर वाला पार्ट है, इक्विलिब्रियम वाला पार्ट है। हाँ, एंड अगर यहाँ इस पार्टिकुलर पॉइंट पर अगर हम लोग फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम अगर ड्रा करना चाहे तो हम सिर्फ ये दिखा सकते हैं, दिस इज mg इन दिस डायरेक्शन द फोर्स इज। लास्ट वन नॉर्मल गैज। So we'll use all these array diagrams in different problems further. So one is that inclined plane. We have this is that plane. This is that inclined plane. One body is somewhere here. If there is no friction, if this angle is theta, observe it carefully. मैंने कहा फोर्स के हर पार्ट को, हर कंपोनेंट्स को बहुत थिनली ऑब्जर्व करने की, किस डायरेक्शन पे कितना फोर्स लगेगा, आपको मैग्नीट्यूड के साथ साथ डायरेक्शन को ध्यान रखना। सो हियर दिस इज दैट फोर्स mg always toward the center of earth, and if this angle is theta and this is that the normal, this is normal। अगर कोई बॉडी कहीं पे अगर रखा हुआ है किसी सरफेस में है तो एक नॉर्मल फोर्स, रिएक्शन फोर्स लगता है। So this is that surface, so this is that normal force exerted by that plane on that body. So this angle will be theta. So we can take the component of this mg. So toward this, that mg cos theta angle. So जिस डायरेक्शन पे एंगल होता है that is mg cos theta, and in the perpendicular direction, in this direction, that is mg sin theta. तो जब किसी इंक्लाइंड प्लेन पे किसी बॉडी ऐसा रख देते हैं, if there is no friction, then this starts moving, starts sliding, और ये स्लाइडिंग जो होता है this is because this mg sin theta। यहाँ पर अगर कोई रेस्ट में है तो अगर टोटल पाथ हमें पता है we can calculate, we can use that equation, equation of motion. So if this side is given, this is equivalent to that total distance is d. Initial velocity is here, that initial velocity is 0. जैसे हमने उसको वहाँ से उसको छोड़ दिया, this angle is theta. तो यहाँ पर कितनी स्पीड से आएगा we can calculate. Because we have this force mg sin theta, we can calculate acceleration. So that force is F is equal to mg sin theta. So acceleration A is equal to m is cancelled. So this is ma is equal to mg sin theta. So A is equal to g sin theta. This is the acceleration. We have this acceleration. Initial velocity u is taken is equal to 0 at time. यहाँ पे अगर हमने लेकर उसको टॉप में ले लिया है. So we can calculate final velocity v by using v square is equal to u square plus 2as. If this length is given as L, this is given as L, then this v is equal to that initial velocity is 0, 2 multiplied by this is g sin theta, and this s is equal to L. So that v is equal to root of 2g sin theta multiplied by L. So we have freedom to use the different equations of motion. If we know the concept of force, if we have the vector diagram of that force in a different direction, then we can solve any type of problem. Okay, so in next class we will try to solve some force related problems, numerical problems especially, based on that Newton's equations of motion as well as Newton's laws of motion. Okay, thank you.